Good afternoon. My name is Trina Logan. Some days my voice is going to be low, some days my voice is going to be high. I will try my best because guess what? This is the Fabulosity of Trina Logan. But I do have a lung disease, so please bear with me. Don't crack jokes. Some days I want to sound like, hey, how you doing? And then some days I'm going to be sounding like a whisper, and it's like, and you might not understand me, but I'm going to try anyway because I want to speak to you all. This podcast will be a multifaceted podcast. We're going to talk about fashion. We're going to talk about caregiving. We're going to talk about what it's like to be a parent and you can't have actual kids, but you can be a cat parent. You, we're going to talk about pain. We're going to talk about good things. We're going to talk about life. And sometimes, hopefully, I can have some guests in here. But this is my podcast, and I want you to listen to it because I want you to know what I have learned in life, and I want to share with you. I want to open up. I want to be a vessel in your life, right? Um, Today's topic will be caregiving, okay, and what it's like, and the shock, and what it means to all of a sudden have your life change just like that, right? So, what happened to me? We'll start off with caregiving. What started off with me is my uncle had the facility to contact me and said that you need to come down here and sign the medical rights for his life. Wait, what? He has been diagnosed with dementia. Okay. And then eventually it will go to stage 4. Whoa, my whole life changed right then and there. So I was on my way to Asheville. I signed the paperwork, and then they signed. You have to sign for what's called DNR, do not resuscitate, or you sign full code, which means that you will have them to do everything that they can to help them to survive. Now, one of the family members decided that that wasn't a good idea. I should have never signed DNR. But my mother is a primary caregiver, and me and her have both decided on full coverage. And they didn't argue with her, they argued with me. But that's okay, because I had time today. So when they argued with me about this, their reasoning was, why would you want him to go through all the transition and go through all the hurt and pain? How do you know he want to live like that? My answer to that was, I did feel cold because I'm not going to play God, right? Now it's time to go. If he opens his eyes, it's not his time to go. He likes watching Carolina Panthers games. Don't ask me because I am a Peyton Manning fan all the way, you know, even though he's retired. However, he likes Carolina Panthers, win or lose. He likes to smoke Newport Longs. He will not drink and he will not eat another cigarette. Do not give it to him. He'll tell you that's the wrong one. Period. He is bougie. So also, the next thing is he likes to live life and he likes to be comfortable and he likes his Snicker bars and he likes his Mountain Dew. That tells me he wants to live life as long as he can. And to me, once I sign those paperwork, that lets me know whatever years he has, I am responsible for it. At that moment, my life changed. I got to know the nurses. I got to know the facility. I got to know what changes, what doctors, what hospitals were close to, his nursing director, his social worker, his dietitian, who was the host at the front desk. I wanted to know everyone, and I wanted everyone to know me. So if anything happens to me, I'm the first person they call. 11:30 at night, his blood sugar high. Why? How many Mountain Dews did he have? If he has a boil on his back, he have this and that happen, take him to the hospital. You don't know what it is. When he was uh, throwing out his personal parts, out there in from his pants and urinating everywhere. I told him it's time to put them on adult underwear. And we'll get into all of that. But in future episodes. But my life changed. And I thank Laura Freeman, which is my cousin, for this because she had a mother had Alzheimer's and she told me that you have to act like you are the same person to him, whether he calls you his sister, his brother, his niece, his nephew, his uncle, his cousin, baby daddy, baby mama, whoever. Because when her mother was passing, she called her a different name. But you can't panic in front of them because then they panic because they believe what they believe. So whatever she called her, Laura went with it. And then she would just sit there and brush her hair. Got to a point where she would start acting like she doing snuff. There was no snuff there, and I used to hate snuff. My grandma, that's my grandma's age, and they chew their tobacco and they and spit it out. It made no sense to me. But that was what older people did in that generation. So, but there was nothing there. So my cousin would cry in the car, and she shared that with me. And that was very important because that taught me, okay, so no matter what he does, and his personal things that he says, I have to just go with it. And I learned that. And now I do that as a caretaker. It changed my whole life. I cried in the car. I cried when I got home. My life has changed forever because not only am I responsible for myself, but now I'm responsible for a grown man. And now I have to make decisions for his life. Now I have to do decisions for his care plan, not just leave him at a facility, which I've seen some people do. They drop their loved ones off, and those people are just sitting there, just waiting to rot to die. I refuse to let my uncle do that because I know that that is not what my grandma would have wanted me to do. My grandma would have wanted me to take care of her son. My grandmother would have wanted me to make sure that he was comfortable. Now, not everybody is in a facility. Some people are home care, nurse caregivers. But I want to say, just be mindful. I know some people may or may not want to hear this, but your life could change just like this. Your father can have a stroke, your mother can have a stroke, anybody can have a heart attack. Some people could lose their leg, could be an accident. Your life can change like this. Now you are a caregiver. Caregivers are very important because they are responsible for what happens in another person's life. You have to value that. You cannot just leave it them award to the state. If you have a heart, make sure that you care for them. I care for my uncle because I genuinely love him. And I know my grandmother would have wanted me to treat her son that way. I know my mother would have wanted me to treat her brother that way. I know that him, as my uncle, would have wanted his niece to love on him until the end and make him comfortable. This is my first podcast. This is one of my first topics that I'm talking about. My name is Trina Logan. Yes, I did my braids. Yes, I feel fabulous. But this is the first topic that I wanted to discuss. How scary it was for me to receive that information, and now my life had changed. But I love you all. May you be blessed. I hope you continue to listen to my podcast. I hope that I say the same prayer. Bless your hands on the wheel. Bless your surrounding hands on the wheel. May everyone come back in the same health that they left back in. Whatever higher power that you believe in, I truly believe that for you. And that I hope that you continue to listen to the rest of my podcast because we're going to have some stuff and we're going to get into some issues. And some of it we're going to disagree on, and some of it we're going to agree on, but it's going to be all out of love, not out of animosity. I love you all. I hope that you have a blessed day. Miss Logan. Mwah. The Fabulosity of Trina Logan. Thank you for your time.